Listen, you've been carrying pain like it's punishment. But what if I told you it's not here to destroy you, it's here to develop you? You've been praying for strength and life answered with struggle. You asked for wisdom and life gave you wounds. You asked for purpose and life gave you pain because pain is the tuition of transformation. The problem is most people waste it. They suffer, but they never learn. They break, but they never rebuild stronger. They fall, but they never get up different. They let the pain make them bitter when it was designed to make them better. So, hear me clearly. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. Your pain is not random. It's refining you. It's sharpening the edge you're gonna need when the opportunity finally shows up. But if you keep wasting your pain, you'll meet your moment unready. And life doesn't wait for the unready. Every great story started in suffering. Edison failed 1,000 times before the light turned on. Lincoln faced defeat after defeat before destiny made him a president. Carnegie, Ford, Jobs, they all went broke before they broke through. Why? Because pain is the furnace where greatness is forged. You can't skip the fire and still get the gold. See, pain doesn't show up to take from you, it shows up to reveal you. It pulls off the mask of comfort. It strips away who you pretend to be so you can meet who you really are. That's why most people run from it, because pain introduces you to your truth. And truth is uncomfortable. Truth demands change. Truth says, you're not giving enough. Truth says, you're hiding behind your excuses. Truth says, you're better than this version of yourself. But the moment you stop fighting your pain and start listening to it, you'll find it's the greatest mentor you'll ever have. Every setback, every heartbreak, every closed door, they weren't the end of your story. They were edits to your character, rewrites to your script. Life wasn't rejecting you, it was redirecting you. That's what pain does. It repositions you from where you want to be to where you need to be. So stop wasting it. Stop complaining about the weight you're carrying and start building with it. You keep saying it's heavy, but maybe it's not meant to crush you. Maybe it's meant to condition you. Every rep of resistance builds your resilience. Every tear you've cried watered the soil of your future self. And one day, that version of you will thank the pain for showing up, because that pain was the price of your power. Pain isn't something you survive, it's something you use. It's currency. Every sleepless night, every silent scream, every why me, those are deposits. And one day, you're gonna cash them in. But you can't collect what you never claimed. You can't get the payout if you quit before the process completes. The universe doesn't pay victims. It pays survivors. It pays grinders. It pays those who turn suffering into skill, heartbreak into hunger, rejection into redirection. Stop saying, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? That's the pivot that changes everything. Because pain is not a wall, it's a window. If you look through it, instead of staring at it, you'll see possibilities hidden behind the problems. You think the pain is breaking you down, but it's really breaking you open, breaking open your vision, breaking open your humility, breaking open your potential that's been trapped behind fear and pride and comfort. Comfort kills more dreams than failure ever could, because comfort says, stay here where it's safe. Pain says, get up, you were made for more. Pain doesn't whisper, it roars. And if you don't learn to hear its language, you'll misread every message life sends you. You'll think life's being cruel when it's really being kind. Because the lessons you don't learn in discipline, you will learn in discomfort. And make no mistake, pain doesn't discriminate. It visits kings and beggars, athletes and artists, visionaries and the lost. The difference isn't who feels pain, the difference is who uses it. You can cry about it, or you can create from it. You can drown in it, or you can draw strength from it. You can let it define you, or you can let it refine you. The choice is yours. But remember this, the pain you waste today will become the regret you carry tomorrow. Listen to me, pain is a teacher that never leaves a class unlearned. You can skip comfort, but you can't skip growth. And every ounce of growth demands that you pay in pain. The question is, are you paying attention or just paying the price? Because if you're gonna suffer, at least make it count. Don't go through it for nothing. Don't endure sleepless nights, heartbreaks, rejections, and failure after failure just to stay the same. You've already been through hell. Why would you stop there? If life burned you, use that fire. If it broke you, use those pieces to build something unbreakable. That's what greatness is. It's not the absence of pain. It's the mastery of it. It's learning how to turn every scar into strategy, every wound into wisdom, every setback into setup. Think about every person who changed history. They all had one thing in common. They refused to waste their pain. When Thomas Edison's factory burned to the ground, he didn't sit there crying over ashes. He told his son, "Go get your mother and her friends. They'll never see a fire like this again." Then he rebuilt. Within weeks, he was producing again, better than before. That's what it looks like when you stop letting pain take from you and start letting it teach you. You've got to have the courage to believe that what's breaking you today might just be building you for tomorrow. Because listen, pain is intelligent. It doesn't show up where you're weak. It shows up where you've outgrown yourself. It's life's way of saying, you can't stay here anymore. It's the earthquake that shakes you out of mediocrity. And most people, instead of rebuilding stronger, they rush to patch the cracks. But cracks are revelations. They show you what wasn't strong enough to hold your destiny. The relationship that couldn't handle your growth. The job that couldn't contain your purpose. The mindset that couldn't carry your next level. So when something breaks, stop crying over it and start studying it. Ask yourself, what did this pain just reveal about me? Because every pain comes with an instruction. If you decode it, you evolve. If you ignore it, you repeat it. And repeating pain is life's way of saying, you didn't learn yet. That's why some people keep facing the same heartbreak, the same betrayal, the same disappointment, different faces, same lesson. Because they waste their pain. They treat every hardship like a setback instead of a syllabus. They don't extract the lesson, they just carry the wound. But pain is only powerful when you process it, when you pull something from it. So here's the truth. If you want to rise, you must recycle your suffering. Turn it into fuel. Don't just cry over what hurt you. Create because of it. Let it light a fire that no comfort could ever spark. You see, comfort makes you soft, but pain makes you real. Comfort feeds your ego, but pain feeds your evolution. And evolution is never painless. It's messy, it's lonely, it's nights where you question everything. It's mornings where you still choose to get up. That's what power looks like, choosing to stand when quitting feels justified. Because the truth is, life doesn't reward perfect people. It rewards persistent people. Those who keep walking through the storm, not around it. Those who stop begging for an easier path and start building stronger legs. You can't escape the storm, but you can learn to use its wind to fly. Think about it, every storm in your life has two versions. The one that destroys and the one that develops. The difference, perspective. If you believe pain is punishment, it'll crush you. If you believe pain is preparation, it'll crown you. The same fire that melts wax-hardened steel. The difference isn't the fire, it's what you're made of. So if you're in the fire right now, stop praying for it to end and start preparing to emerge refined. You can't skip the heat and still claim the glory. You can't reject the process and still demand the product. Everybody wants the crown, but nobody wants the crucible. Everybody wants the story, but nobody wants the struggle. But you can't have a resurrection without a cross. You can't have power without pain. The deeper the cut, the louder the calling. The heavier the burden, the greater the destiny. So when life hits you, don't ask, why me? Ask, what now? Because that's the question of a warrior. That's the mindset of someone who refuses to waste their pain. You owe your pain something. It gave you perspective. It gave you hunger. It woke you up from the delusion that comfort was success. So pay it back with purpose. Pay it back with discipline. Pay it back by becoming the person that pain was training you to be all along. Let's talk about discipline, because once you stop wasting your pain, you start weaponizing it, and the weapon is discipline. Pain will introduce you to discipline in a way comfort never could. When everything's easy, you coast. When everything hurts, you focus. When life humbles you, you listen. When life crushes you, you finally build structure. Discipline is born in discomfort. Every morning you wake up tired, but still get up. That's pain paying you back. Every night you want to quit, but push one more hour. That's pain paying you back. Every time you stay consistent when no one's watching, that's pain turning into profit. You see, success doesn't show up because you want it. It shows up because you built the character that can hold it. And that character, that resilience, that hunger, that mindset, is built through the very pain you've been trying to escape. You think success is about talent. No, talent starts the race, but discipline finishes it. And pain is the coach that trains discipline into your DNA. You think motivation is enough. Motivation gets you started, but pain keeps you moving when motivation dies. Because there's going to come a day when the applause stops, when no one believes in you, when you've got nothing but your grit left. And that's the day pain will ask you, did you learn? Because if you learn, you won't run. You'll plant your feet, tighten your jaw, and keep swinging. That's the language of the greats. Look at history. It's written in blood, sweat, and resilience. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination. Henry Ford went bankrupt 5 times before he revolutionized transportation. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for television. Every legend was once labeled delusional until their discipline made the world adjust to their vision. Pain made them disciplined enough to stay when others left, focused enough to build when others doubted, relentless enough to believe when everything said quit. And that's the level you must reach, where pain no longer breaks you, it builds you. Where rejection fuels you, not wounds you. Where loss matures you, not weakens you. Because once you've learned how to use pain, you become unstoppable. The world can't take from you what pain already taught you to live without. See, life's not testing how much you can take. It's testing how much you can turn. Turn pressure into precision. Turn heartbreak into hustle. Turn wounds into wisdom. That's what the masters of life do. They don't waste anything. They extract meaning from misery. They convert obstacles into opportunities. They understand that pain is not a setback, it's a signal. It's life saying, you're close, keep going. You think pain means stop, but pain means shift. It means adjust, grow, evolve. Because listen, every level of your life will demand a new version of you, and that new version can't emerge until the old one dies. Pain is the funeral of your former self. It kills your comfort, your excuses, your laziness, your fears. And the moment you stop fighting that death, you'll feel reborn, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. So stop wasting the burial. Stop digging up what was meant to be buried. Your old self can't survive your new assignment. And let's talk about vision. Because once pain cleans you, discipline grounds you, and vision guides you. Pain without vision is torture. Pain with vision is training. If you don't see where you're going, pain feels like punishment. But if you know where you're going, pain becomes proof that you're on the right path. Every time you feel resistance, it's a sign you're pushing against limitation. And that's exactly where growth happens. No tree grows roots in soft soil. It digs deeper when the ground gets hard. So when life gets heavy, don't curse the weight. It's building your foundation. The taller the dream, the deeper the roots must go. That's why your journey feels harder than most. Because what's growing inside you is bigger than most. You're not just chasing success, you're chasing evolution. You're not just trying to win, you're trying to transform. And transformation hurts. It's supposed to. Butterflies don't break free without tearing their cocoon. Diamonds don't form without pressure. Leaders don't rise without loss. Pain isn't punishment, it's permission. Permission to leave behind what no longer serves your purpose. Permission to grow beyond your limits. Permission to become who you were always meant to be. So look at your pain, not as an enemy, but as an invitation. An invitation to rise, to rebuild, to reimagine what's possible for you. Because when pain visits your life, you've got 2 choices. Let it stay rent-free or make it pay you back. Let it pay you in focus. Let it pay you in self-respect. Let it pay you in discipline. Let it pay you in vision. Let it pay you in purpose. You've cried enough. You've suffered enough. Now it's time to collect. Collect every lesson. Collect every ounce of grit. Collect every bit of clarity that pain tried to hide from you. And when you rise this time, you rise different. You rise knowing that the fire that tried to burn you was really there to forge you. There comes a moment when the pain no longer feels like punishment. It feels like power. That's the turning point. That's when you stop asking life to go easy on you and start thanking it for going deep on you. See, the deeper the pain, the deeper the lesson. The more it hurts, the more it's shaping you. Because life doesn't waste pain either. It always sends it to the one strong enough to use it. You weren't chosen to suffer. You were chosen to rise. That's why your battles feel heavier than others. That's why your nights feel longer. Because life is crafting something in you that can't be built in comfort. Don't resent that weight. Carry it with purpose. Because that's not a curse on your shoulders. It's a crown being formed. And every king, every queen, every leader who ever changed this world, they all paid their dues in pain first. Martin Luther King didn't dream his way into greatness. He bled for it. Nelson Mandela didn't find peace in the absence of pain. He found it through it. Helen Keller didn't learn resilience in silence. She learned it through the absence of what others take for granted. Every revolutionary spirit that ever lived earned its fire in the furnace of suffering. So don't you dare waste yours. If they could turn their pain into power, so can you. Because pain doesn't pick favorites. It just asks one question. What will you do with me? Will you use me or lose me? Will you grow through me or fold under me? Because pain will pay whatever price you demand from it. But most people never send it the bill. They endure it and move on instead of cashing it in and moving up. Don't just survive your pain. Monetize it. Not with money, but with meaning. Turn it into mastery. Let it finance your discipline, your vision, your fire. You've cried over it. Now create with it. You've lost because of it. Now lead because of it. You've suffered through it. Now serve with it. That's the real exchange. That's how pain pays you back. When you turn it into purpose. And purpose, oh, that's where everything changes. Because once you find your why, pain stops being painful. It becomes necessary. You start to see the pattern, the preparation, the perfection behind every wound. You realize none of it was wasted. Not one tear, not one heartbreak, not one sleepless night. It all built you. It all burned away the weak parts of you and revealed what was real inside you. Purpose turns suffering into significance. It's what makes the difference between a scar and a story. Because scars don't just show that you were hurt, they show that you healed. That's what pain wants, not to hurt you, but to heal you through awakening, to break your illusions, to expose your potential, to push you into alignment with who you were meant to be all along. So don't curse your past anymore. Don't run from it. Don't bury it. Own it. Because that pain you're ashamed of, that's your power source. That's where your authenticity lives. That's where your empathy comes from. That's where your depth, your wisdom, your courage were born. You think people are inspired by your perfection. No, they're inspired by your scars, by the fact that you were broken and still built something beautiful, by the fact that you were rejected and still rose, by the fact that you were defeated and still dared to dream again. The world doesn't need another perfect soul. It needs more proven ones. People who've been through the fire and came back carrying the flame. So the next time life breaks you, don't scream, why me? Whisper, try me. Because now you understand. Pain doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to deliver you. Deliver you into your next level. Deliver you from your excuses. Deliver you from comfort, from ego, from fear. Pain is the bridge between who you were and who you're supposed to be. And if you have the courage to cross it, you'll find that everything you prayed for is waiting on the other side. So don't waste this chapter. Don't waste the tears. Don't waste the sleepless nights or the heartbreaks. Turn them into lessons. Turn them into purpose. Turn them into gratitude. Because one day, you'll look back and realize the pain you hated most built the strength you admire most. The rejection that broke you opened the door that freed you. The heartbreak that hollowed you made space for the love that fulfilled you. Life isn't random. It's refining. And if you refuse to waste the pain, you'll come out of this not bitter, but better. So hear me clearly. Pain doesn't owe you an apology. It owes you a reward. And you can't collect it by complaining. You collect it by becoming disciplined, becoming focused, becoming unstoppable, becoming the person your pain was preparing you to be. That's how you make it pay you back. That's how you take what tried to break you and turn it into the reason you rise. That's how you take what hurt you and make it holy. Because when you stop wasting pain, you don't just survive. You evolve, you lead, you inspire, you awaken others to the truth that broke you open. So don't run from it anymore. Stand tall in it, thank it, learn from it, then turn it into something the world can feel. Because pain doesn't define you, it refines you. And once you've learned to make it pay you back, there's nothing left that can take you down. You've suffered enough. Now rise and make every ounce of that pain pay you back in purpose.